Good morning, everyone. Just get started here. My name is Vikreta, and I'm caseworker here at Dreamers Together. And I will be on today for about 30 minutes or so, just answering any general AOS questions that you may have. My colleague Ellie is not with us today. Hope you're all having a good day. And again, I will be answering any general AOS questions that you may have. If you are interested in booking an appointment with us, I have attached below how you can, contact us. I have attached our link to our website as well as our phone number, okay? Dreamers Together is an accredited agency. We are accredited with the EOIR, and we can assist you with any immigration matters that you may have. We are, again, accredited with EOIR. And we do have accredited reps on file, accredited through USCIS. And again, we can further assist you in your legal matters, in your legal immigration matters. If, you know, we do we do encounter cases where they are out of our scope, then we do have an attorney list that we can refer you over to. All right, so let's speak a little bit about the RFEs that are still being issued, okay? Um, for those of you that have the 10 years and the 40 credits, you do submit your proof with your AOS packet, such as your SSA statement showing the 10 years and the 40 credits, um, the EAD cards front and back, and your page 8 of the I-45 stating that you are asking for that exemption. And also an addendum, okay, explaining to USCIS that you do qualify to be exempt from filing the traditional I-864 and what you have obviously attached to your packet to ask for that exemption. You submit your packet to AOS and then you run into an issue of receiving an RFE. It's very, very common. 99.9% of cases are still getting RFE'd in error, okay? Meaning that you may very well have the 10 years and the 40 credits that USCIS are still issuing RFEs, okay? I don't want you to worry. I just want you to simply follow the protocol of responding to that RFE, okay? Do not assume that you do not need to respond to it because you're 100% sure that you have those 10 years and the 40 credits. Any RFEs that you encounter, even if they are in error, you need to respond to them. Okay, that is very, very important. They give you a timely manner to respond to them. Usually 30 days. I'm sorry, 30, anywhere from 30 to 90 days. Okay. Again, these RFEs are issued in error for individuals asking for the exemptions. Don't assume I've already submitted. I have the 10 years and the 40 credits. I'm not going to answer this RFE because it was issued in error. No, you must answer that RFE because you do not want to end up with a denial. And how you would answer it is obviously resubmit the items that you had originally submitted, okay? Such as page 8 of the I-45, your SSA statement front and back, and an addendum and the cover letter letting USCIS know that you are resubmitting the items asking for the exemption again, okay? You can upload those into your USCIS on an account or you can mail them in. And any RFEs that any RFEs that you get, you must answer them, okay? Whether it be for the 40 credits or anything else relating to your AOS packet, okay? If you are not sure, you can book a Q&A with us. We'll take a look at the RFE and we'll see if it's something that we can assist you with or if we need to send you our attorney list and refer you out, okay? But RFEs must be answered, okay? And again, they give you some time to answer those, so do not wait until the last minute, okay? And answer those RFEs. They are called RFE response. Good morning, Grace. How are you? Thank you for joining us. Um, so I want to speak a little bit about the packages too. Once you send your AOS packet out, um, and you may have, they may have returned that packet to you based on maybe your fees were not complete, or maybe the forms were not completed properly, such as the G1650 for the ACH bank withdrawals, or the G1450 for the credit card, the form for the credit card to use your credit card. You have to make sure that these forms are also filled out correctly, okay? The G1650, the ACH bank withdrawals, that's basically letting USCIS know that you are giving them permission to withdraw the funds for the forms straight out of your bank account. Always remember that, the petitioner has to have one for the I-130. Um, and make sure their name is at the top there where it's asking for applicant or requester. The beneficiary also has to have one for the I-485, and then optional if they're going to be submitting the I-765 work authorization, okay? So each form with a fee must have a G1650 or a G1450 with it. And we spoke about this with Elizabeth in our past lives, we definitely recommend just sticking with the G1650s because of the fact that they could just withdraw it from your bank, your savings, and then this way you won't run into issues with credit cards. So let's see, spoke a little bit about the RFEs and the packages being sent back. If for those of you that are moving and you have a pending AOS, case, even if you have a pending immigration case in general, and you do end up moving, you must notify USCIS within 10 days, okay? And how you would do this is you would go into the USCIS online portal, and then you would submit a change of address within 10 days of moving. And now let's speak a little bit about the traditional I-864 that is required from the petitioner, okay? With the traditional I-864, the first one comes solely from the petitioner, okay? We always stress this, for you to have your taxes in order. If you were married at the time of your filings, we would definitely recommend do not, file head of household or even married filings separately. If you are married, let's just say December 31st of 2024, then those 2024 taxes must be filed married, filing jointly. You cannot do head of household because you were married in 2024, so you must file those taxes married. The reason why we stress this is because, when it comes time to file the AOS packet, we have seen issues where the petitioner had filed head of household a year or all 3 years, and they were actually married to the beneficiary. And, that does run a risk of causing issues with your case. The officer might not accept those. It is generally the law to file married if you are married, that year of taxes that need to be filed. So for those of you that are planning to submit your AOS packets in the future, check out those taxes. If you have to amend them. For the years that you were married, if you see head of household, especially the most recent, the most recent right now, they're still accepting the 2024 taxes until the deadline in April, but after April, they're going to be accepting the 2025 taxes. So again, look at those taxes and make sure they are married filing jointly. If you are going to file those taxes, 2025 is around the corner, file them married filing jointly. That way, moving forward, when you use your most recent tax year, which will be 2025 after April, You have married filing jointly on those, okay? Good morning, Joe. What's up on your end? Do you have any AOS questions? Oh, okay. So we have a question here. Let's see. Salvador. I just noticed I typed my middle name on my I-765 when signing it wrong. Would that be an issue? Okay, so you can actually correct that issue, okay? You can um, correct that page that was, that you did type your name in wrong. Upload it to your USCIS online account and, you know, write a cover letter to it. Let the officer know that, there was an error when you signed it or when you typed it. Okay. So let the officer know that, there was an error on your name and you have submitted um, a new I-765 page for that direct page that had the error on there. And that way the officer, um, he'll have it before you get to your interview. So if you do have an error, maybe when typing or when signing your name, um, you can correct that error by resubmitting that page, correcting the error on that page, and writing a letter to it, just letting the officer know, you know, this page of the I-765, there is an error on the initial filing. Here is the page with the corrected name. Take the page and the letter and upload it to your USCIS online account so the officer can see that ahead of time. Goodies, debating if I should submit my DACA renewal or wait. It expires in October of 2026. Filed AOS through child last month and requested EAD in Texas. Okay, I would definitely say, as Cook has previously stated, um, some you can submit your DACA renewal a year in advance. Okay, so I can't speak for you. You know what you want to do. That is your decision. But I would renew. I would renew like tomorrow, because of the fact that DACA does protect you, and you have the option to renew it about a year in advance. Because even though you do have a pending AOS case. We don't know how long that case is going to take. Okay, they are taking a while right now. And let me tell you, even the EAD cards through those pending AOS cases are taking a very long time if you even get approved. Because I've seen cases where the individual ends up getting their green card and they just terminate the I-765. They don't return their money; they terminate it. So AOS cases are taking a bit of a time, and the EAD cards are taking some time to be adjudicated as well. And in most of my cases, I see that they get their green card first and the work permit is still pending. And what USCIS ends up doing is terminating that work permit because the individual has already gotten their green card. So I would definitely recommend renewing your DACA because DACA is taking some time. Those renewals are taking some time to be adjudicated and approved as well. Rosa, how many passport photos in total when doing AOS with just the required forms? All right, so if you're indicating just required, you are talking about the I-130 and the I-485. If you are just doing the required forms, which are the I-130 and the I-485, those come with a fee. The petitioner is only going to need to add in 2 photos for the I-130, and you yourself, Rosa, are going to have to add in um, 4 passport photos, one for the a set for the I-130 and a set for the I-485. Julia, Rosa, thank you for your questions. How are you, Julia? Y'all need to go and consult with Rekreta. She goes above and beyond with her clients. I received my green card last October and it took 15 months. I'm so happy for you, Julia. I remember, and I know that we were brainstorming how to go around this, and we did file an inquiry. So we got it done, and I'm really, really happy for you. Go enjoy that green life. You so very deserve it. You're welcome, Grace. Okay. Let's see. Julian, I'm so sorry, but we don't have Elizabeth with us during this live. But I will definitely get this question over to her and we will answer it in the next live, okay? You're welcome, Rosa. Hi, Martha. I'm about to renew my DACA. I have never sent pics with my renewal. My question is, do I need to send pics with my renewal this time? I would definitely recommend sending in pics with your renewal just in case, okay? Hello, Bernice. My brother had a misdemeanor for theft. He has AP and DACA. His wife is a U.S. citizen. Can he apply for AOS? Okay. Um, I can't I can't really answer your question, Bernice, because obviously that paperwork, has to be renewed. I mean, sorry, I'm sorry. That paperwork has to be reviewed, okay? And, you know, it has to be thoroughly reviewed because this is adjustment of status, okay? Um, so I would recommend you can book a Q&A. We can review the paperwork and we can let you know if it's something that, you can do by yourself or you can, you know, possibly need to be referred out, okay? Especially lately, just please don't go submitting your cases by yourselves because this may be something that has to be further evaluated by an attorney. Um, there are certain laws in place for petty theft under AOS, but again, paperwork needs to be reviewed, okay? Hello, David. Is there any way I can do AOS even though my daughter doesn't want to sign the petition? Um, your daughter doesn't want to sign the petition. Okay, so the issue is your daughter has to file the I-130, okay, David? And that filing does require her information, such as 5-year residency, 5-year employment, some personal information, and it does require her signature. So unfortunately, you cannot file for AOS without that petitioner filing the I-130 on your behalf first, okay? Um, if you want to look into other um, options, you can. But those other options, again, um, whether it be maybe like a VAWA case or anything like that, you can look into other options. But generally for AOS, you need a petitioner, and that petitioner does need to sign the I-130. And if you're doing it through your U.S. citizen child, then that child needs to file and sign that I-130. Okay, so I I don't read Arabic, but I will be happy to answer your question. Let's see. My husband and I just got married. He has DACA, and we want to know what you suggest to do, where to start off for a green card. Okay, so you and your husband were just married, and your husband is a DACA recipient. Where do you start off for a green card? You start by working on marital evidence. Okay, and that working on having a lease, having a bank account, credit card statements. Working on marital evidence. That was what you can start with, and then obviously there are some preliminary documents that you have to gather after that. And your husband needs to have a legal entry to adjust in the United States through his U.S. citizen spouse. So I guess I could say first and foremost is having the legal entry. And after that, um, gathering marital evidence. And after that, all the preliminary documentation that comes with it. So there are a few steps, okay? You're welcome, David. Martha, yeah, I'm going to check on that document and I will get back to you, okay? Just please keep in mind that when you guys do send us documents that we request, we do, you have to give us a day or two because we do have to review these documents with our colleagues, with our supervisor, and get back to you on that, okay? You're very welcome, Melissa. Um, and if you need any more information, you can book a Q&A with us or even a consultation, okay? And how we conduct our consultations is we ask you a series of questions and then we determine if we can take your case. If we can take your case, then we talk about the process and the fee, okay? That is our AOS consultation. If you want just a regular Q&A with us, you can have like a regular Q&A session with us where you can ask your questions and we'll let you know some more information. Isa. Hi, Isa. I'm about to do my AOS for my daughter, but she's a full-time student. I have DACA and have a job. Will that be enough, or she will have to be working? All right, so your daughter is a petitioner, you are the beneficiary. So the petitioner, if your daughter is a full-time student and she is unemployed, um, she is still required to fill out the I-64. Um, if she lives with you, you can combine incomes, meaning you can use your income um, and supply your financial information on the form. Again, the A64 is going to come from the petitioner. If the petitioner is unemployed, it's going to ask like some questions on their unemployed since she's going to fill out her portions. And then under, you know, there is a section in one of the pages that asks if anyone else in the household is going to be using their income. That is where you can add your income in ISA if your petitioner resides with you. If she does not, then you would definitely look into obtaining a joint sponsor, okay? Unless you yourself have the 10 years and the 40 credits. If you yourself, Isa, have the 10 years and the 40 credits, then you won't need any financial information from your daughter, not even that 964. You're going to ask to be exempt by submitting your EAD cards front and back, that SSA statement showing the 10 years and the 40 credits, and an addendum. Okay, so if your daughter does live with you, then you can combine incomes. She's the petitioner. Um, Again, you can combine incomes, follow the instructions, combine incomes, or if you have the 10 years and 40 credits, even better. You won't even need that I-64 from your daughter. You're going to ask to be exempt on page 8 of I-45 and include your SSA statement, EAD cards front and back, and an addendum requesting for that exemption. Hello, Shivo. Hi, I did AP for dental purposes. Can I apply again to keep up with my braces? Would that be a good idea? You can apply again. That you can apply again and let them know that you require some more dental care or work to be done, but you would have to submit all the paperwork again and let them know the quotes. Um, so you would have to submit all that paperwork again. Now, there are never any guarantees with AP, but you can most certainly try. Martha, where do I go to renew my DECA online? You go into the USCIS website and you click on the tabs and the form will pop up for you to renew your DECA. Let's see here. What does that mean? Tenure and 40 credits. So that basically means that if you have worked with an employment authorization document, meaning you were given authorization to work for at least 10 years, you may have accrued 4 credits per year. Okay, if you have worked at least 10 years and you have accrued 4 credits per year, that equals 40 credits. And you can show that SSA statement to USCIS and request to be exempt from the petitioner filing the I-864. I guess you can check if you have had 10 years of work. Go onto the SSA.gov website and download your SSA statement, and that way you can check if you have 10 years of work and 40 credits. Um, if you want any further information on this, we also have a calculator in the AOS Facebook group, and that can help you determine if you have the 40 credits and the 10 years. If you would like any further information, you can book a Q&A with us. But again, ideally, I would like to see that SSA at the Q&A. So go on to the SSA.gov website and download your SSA statement. Hi, Darwin. Let's see. Do you think with this administration, DACA recipients will have a better status, such as residency, through the dignity law the Congress is thinking of approving? I have no clue. Um, we have to wait and see. Um, David, can I go a different route instead of AOS? I did my AP already. In regards to receiving a green card, there are other options out there, but you would have to speak to an attorney such as VAWA. Um, if you were ever maybe the victim of a crime. But again, you would have to consult with an attorney for that. The general route is usually AOS after a legal entry if you have a 21-year-old citizen daughter. I mean, I'm sorry, a 21-year-old citizen child or a U.S. citizen spouse. If you are looking for a different route, again, consult with attorney, you know, and maybe they lay out some more options for you. You're welcome, Isa. You're welcome, Darwin. All right, I will be on for a few more minutes, guys. Let's see what we have here. Olivia, okay, so again, my colleague Elizabeth is not with me today, but come back to our live next week and she'll be more than happy to answer your question, okay? David, you're very welcome. Hello, Yezel. Changing address will affect or delay a case. It's in the same state and city. Should I send it now or wait until I move? I'm waiting on my EAD card to deliver. It was produced 1/28/26 and also have a case pending. of AOS filed in 9/16/25. Okay, so, if your card was produced, then that means it's going to take a few weeks for it to get to you, okay? Um, you can, you know, if there's someone at the premises to pick it up, you can, wait to change your address until you move. Um, Generally, like I said, as soon as you move, just change that address within 10 days, okay? Bernice, I will add that mm, link. Okay, and you must create an account if you don't have an account, and that way you can download your SSA statement. Darwin, why do you think USCI is taking too long to approve my EAD? My wife, let's see, my wife renewed back in December and still no answer. She expedited sending also a letter from her current employer, which was recommended by one of the informants at USCIS. So right now, DECA renewals are taking up to 5 months and possibly more in certain cases. So um, I think that USCIS is backlogging you know, with DECA renewals, with AOS cases right now, with APs. So we see things slowing down. What you can do is, I mean, if you're talking about December of last month, then you unfortunately still have to wait. Okay. If you see that 5, 6, 7, 8 months have gone by, then you can um, look contact one of your local congressmen, and maybe they can help you expedite it. Or you can call them and connect to a live agent and speak to them, um, and ask them, what your other options are in terms of expediting. Martha, does it take longer to renew DECA online or through mail? I have seen cases where it does take a little more time through mail. Um, I cannot say choose one over the other, but you can, if you prefer to do it online, that's fine. Maybe you will get a little faster, but again, lately they're all over the place with their timelines, whether you're renewing online or through mail. Okay, so for those of you that are DACA recipients, um, advanced parole is an option. Okay, if you have not completed advanced parole, we are still recommending that you do. Okay, especially if you do not have that legal entry. Um, if you have a U.S. citizen spouse or child or 21 years of age or older, and the only thing that's keeping you from filing for AOS is a legal entry, then we are still recommending advanced parole. Okay. Again, if you do not have that legal entry, we recommend advanced parole. Filing for advanced parole, they are taking 11 months or more, but we have seen some approvals. You're welcome, Bernice and Darwin. Also with DECA itself, okay? If your DECA is expiring and you are given the option of renewing well in advance, please, do so. Now, this is only our recommendation. What you decide to do is totally up to you. Um, Sometimes I see people are worried about maybe losing some time, but you're not really losing time. You're gaining time because why? You have the option of filing for a renewal, file in time, okay? DACA renewals are taking some time to be adjudicated and to be approved, okay? You don't want to be stuck with the option of, having DACA lapse, meaning my card is expired and I have a DACA renewal pending. Because during that time, you will accrue unlawful presence, okay? And you need to work. So the biggest recommendation that we are making is for you to renew your DACA early, okay? Don't wait until the last month. Do not wait until the last minute. Renew your DACA. You have the option of renewing it a year early. I've also had this question. You know, I'm married to my spouse. We're going to be married the full 2 years next year. Should I wait till then to file for AOS? I always say it doesn't matter if you qualify for conditional or for the 2-year conditional green card or for the 10-year. I always say if you have an option to file for AOS this year, do it. All right, everyone. I think that is it for today. But again, my colleague and myself will be back next week. For those of you that did submit your question in Spanish, I am truly, truly sorry. Um, Again, my colleague will be here next week and will be more than happy to answer your questions in Spanish. Other than that, everyone have yourselves a great day and stay safe.